Welcome to our video supplement on systems of equations word problems. Perhaps you want to hit pause and try to work this problem out before we proceed. Let us begin though. So first thing we want to do is identify our variables. In this case, let's call A the number of $1 bills, B the number of $5 bills, C the number of $10 bills, and D the number of $20 bills. Somewhere in the problem, please label and make it clear to me what those variables are. Next, we're going to try to write out our system of equations. Let's use one piece of info at a time. So the first information that stands out to us is the fact that we have 171 bills. That equation should be fairly easy to write, as we just That equation should be fairly easy to write. We're simply adding up each of our variables, and we are going to set them equal to the total number of bills that we have. In this problem, that's 171. Next, the money they're worth. Let's go green for that. Each dollar bill is worth $1. Each $5 bill is worth $5. Each $10 bill is worth 10. And each $20 bill is worth 20. Add them up and we'll get the $1,261. Next, we know that there are twice as many $1 bills as $20 bills. In class, we gave some guidance to think about that. It's a multiple. So if we took the larger or the bigger thing divided by the smaller item, we're going to come out with the number that is the multiple. So in this case, the bigger item or the larger item is going to be the number of $1 bills, which is A. The smaller item we gave a way to think about this in class. It's a multiple, so we're going to divide two things and get a number. We divide the bigger thing by the smaller thing to get that number. Okay, so in this problem, the bigger item is the number of $1 bills, that's A. The smaller thing is the number of $20 bills, that's D, and the multiple is 2. We need to get that equation in a different format. So we will multiply both sides by D to clear out our fraction, and we get that A is equal to 2D. But then we want the variables on the same side. So we subtract the 2D from both sides, and we get that A minus 2D is equal to 0. And how about our final equation? We have 4 variables, we need 4 equations, and conveniently there's one other piece of information. We know that there are 3 fewer $10 bills than $5 bills. Like we discussed in class, we're going to now take the big item, subtract the small item, and that's going to equal our number because we're dealing with a difference. There are more $5 bills, which is B, so the bigger thing is B. There are fewer $10 bills, which is C, so the smaller thing is C, and that difference will be equal to 3. Thus, our final equation is B minus C equals 3. So there's our system of equations. But now we transfer it into a matrix form for our calculator, which means we're going to put these big set of rectangular parentheses, and we're just going to write the numbers down. So in that top row, the numbers are 1, 1, 1, 1, and 171. Second row down, the numbers are 1, 5, 10, 20, and 1, 2, 6, 1. Third line, we have 1, but then there's no B or no C, so put zeros. A minus 2 and another 0. And in the last row, we've got 0, 1, negative 1, 0, 3. Now they match up. So the top row in our matrix corresponds to the yellow. The next row in our matrix corresponds with the green. Then we've got the row that matches up with our magenta. And finally, the row that matches up with our blue. It doesn't matter what order you put those equations into our matrix, but now what we're going to do is go to our calculator and put this in our matrix. To get into our matrix menu, we go second, x minus 1. It says matrix. We want to go over to edit, and we're going to edit matrix A. It has 4 horizontal rows. So the first dimension is 4. Hit enter. It has 5 vertical columns. So the second dimension is 5. Hit enter. And now we have to type all of this information in. So the first row is 1, 1, 1, 1, and 171. Please, while you're doing this, hit enter each time and be careful to avoid making typos. Typos are easy to make, and then the problem won't work out. You get a little nervous until you find your mistake. When we put in -2, make sure you use the negative key, not the subtraction sign. And we'll continue this onward. We've got a 1, a -1, a 0, and a 3. Now we need to go to the home screen. So second mode, quits, goes home to the home screen. Then we want to go back into that matrix menu and select the name of matrix A. Hit enter. At this point, do a double check that you don't have any typos. You can scroll to the right, you can see everything to the left. Double check that there are no typos. Once you're sure that everything is in correctly, hit second matrix. We want to do some math. Scroll over to math. And we're going to scroll down until we see RREF. RREF stands for Reduced Row Echelon Form. It's not something that you have to know, but you do have to be aware of what the key stroke is that we need, the RREF. Go back into matrix, get the name of the matrix we just used, close your parenthesis, and hit enter. And at this point, we have good output. Please, on a test, a quiz, or another assignment, copy that output down onto your page. I need to be able to see what you have, and that will be part of what I'm grading when I'm evaluating your work. But then you have to be able to interpret that output. Here's the key. Whatever order you put the variables in from left to right on the input, that's the same order they will come out vertically on the output. In other words, here our answers would be that A is 56, B is 45, C is 42, and D is 28. But we're not done. Please answer the question. So the answer would be, in this case, we had 56 $1 bills. Remember, the A was our $1 bills. We have 45 of the $5 bills. Remember, B was $5 bills. 42 of the $10 bills. And last but not least, 28 of the $20 bills. Circle it, star it, highlight it, do something to designate that it's your final answer. And that's how we do these word problems. Look for each piece of information, form an equation, take our system of equations and turn it into a matrix input, go to our calculator and get the output, and then interpret our answer. If you follow those steps, systems of equations word problems really shouldn't be that bad.